This episode is about the anatomy of a search results page. So I'm sure most of you are familiar with how to use the Amazon search, but the example I've got here is in this search box I have searched today for thermal gloves. And there are a few different components here. So we'll notice on the left we have a drop-down menu. Most people aren't necessarily going to notice that, and it's just going to run that search through all, which is every single department they've got. But if you wanted to refine your search, you could drop down here and find the category or subcategory that you wanted to search in, especially if you had like a broad search term that could be applied to multiple. You could narrow that down and search within a specific category. So one of the things that we'll notice under here is that we are seeing the first 48 results out of over 8,000 results that have been returned for my search thermal gloves. As we scroll to the bottom of the page, we'll hit those 48 results and we'll need to cycle through these additional pages to see anything further. I think something that is probably safe to assume, however, is that most shoppers, consumers, customers aren't really likely to cycle through to page 2 and beyond, which is why we put so much importance on organic rank and paid rank using our advertising. The first placement that we see at the top here is, as we can see, tagged here in the bottom right hand corner, is a sponsored result. So this has been paid for through advertising to appear at the top of search. So this is one of our sponsored brand adverts, also known as headline search in the past. People still use both names, but currently Amazon refer to this as sponsored brands. So this is a static sponsored brand ad. It's got the 3 products that we're advertising. It's got a nice custom lifestyle image here utilizing the brand name and the products in use. Also contains their brand name and logo up here, a custom headline and a link through to their storefronts. If we click any of the 3 products, we will go through to their individual product display pages. Any of the other elements will take us through to the storefront. There'll be a future video on how to set up and a full breakdown of sponsored brand advertising and the different types of sponsored brand advertising available. But as a little sneak peek, I ran another search earlier for dog chews, and much like with the thermal gloves, our top result is a sponsored brand. However, this time we have a sponsored brand video. So this sponsored brand video is showcasing the brand. It's not specifically advertising a single product because we've got a couple of products here in the range. And if we click on any of the elements here, we're going to go through to the sponsored brands storefront. By default, you'll notice that the audio is off on the sponsored brand. This is pretty much the default for all sponsored brand videos. So the important thing to make sure you've got within any of your sponsored brand videos is if there is any audio, any spoken word, is to try and get as many of those selling points and those punchy words and those buzzwords integrated into the video, even if it's just healthy or organic or your brand tagline there. It was go bonkers for begging or whatever it said at the end there. This brand could actually do with a few more kind of subtitles or punchy things, but I think most people understand that, yeah, when the bag was opened, the dog ran and got the treat. So it still does its job as a video without that text. Going back to our original search of thermal gloves, if we scroll past the sponsored brand ad, still above the fold, we have our first row of results. And we'll also notice that each of these, as it shows underneath their image, these are all sponsored as well. So these have also all been paid for advertising, and these are our sponsored product campaigns. So these have all come through cost per click. And because they're in that first row of results, I know technically this would be the first row with the sponsored brand, but this is actually the first row of results. This is top of search. So if you are modifying your bids with placement modifiers for top of search, this is what you're affecting. This is what you're trying to push your advertising into. And this is what you're saying to Amazon, that you're willing to pay an extra 10, 20, 50, 100% on your bid to ensure that you will appear here. Another thing to note within this is it will automatically inherit the hero image of your product. It will have your brand name, your title. It also very clearly displays a breakdown of your star rating, the number of reviews you've got, how many of these products have actually been shifted in the past month. So the customer can compare, okay, yeah, they got great reviews, but not only is this 4.5 star, this one is also super popular because it's shifted 9K units in the past month, whereas this one has only shifted 700. That could be for a multitude of reasons. Maybe this is genuinely more popular, or maybe this is only just recently launched. Other things you can see will be the price. If there's been a price change, there's sometimes going to be a strike-through price. This one also is running a limited deal, so if there's a deal, a coupon, any sort of offer, that is going to be displayed here through this badge. Deals are usually in red, coupons are usually in green. You'll also get the delivery date, whether it's on Prime or not, and the fastest delivery. And one of the new badges, you can probably tell what time of year we're recording this video. This is a new badge saying that it's going to arrive before Christmas. Other badges and notifications down there could include the climate pledge friendly badge, also if it's from a small business or not. You'll also notice a few badges within the images. So we've got two bestsellers here, and this is the bestseller in men's skiing and snowboard, and this is the bestseller in women's skiing and snowboard gloves. And then Amazon have picked their overall pick here. So their criteria is high ratings, competitive pricing, and the speed of delivery. So usually highlighting any of these badges will tell you why that's the case. There's also an Amazon's Choice badge. We might find that as we scroll down the page. The Amazon's Choice is specifically related to the keyword we've searched for. So we searched for thermal gloves. So if we see Amazon's Choice, that's going to be an Amazon's Choice badge for that keyword. So when people search for thermal gloves, this is the product that usually gets the most sales, and Amazon has labeled as Amazon's Choice. So now we scroll down to our first row of organic. So there's no sponsored badge, no sponsored notification under any of these listings. So these are all organic results. This is truly what sellers are striving to appear in, because there's no paid advertising necessary to appear here. Obviously helps because it helps you climb those rankings. But other than these not being sponsored, the listing is the same. We just don't have that sponsored tag above the brand name and underneath the image. We still have the different bestseller badges. Some of these bestsellers are going to be the same as what we saw up here, because you can appear in the sponsor positions at the same time as appearing in the organic positions. Moving further, we also have customers frequently viewed. So this section is going to change pretty much every time you run a search. Earlier when I ran this search, this section was called highly rated items. So it was only showing items that had a minimum star rating of 4.5 out of 5 and a significant number of reviews. This one is customers frequently viewed. So they haven't necessarily purchased them, but we know that these are relevant to the search enough so that people are clicking on these items regularly. It doesn't mean they haven't been purchased, but all Amazon is giving away is that these have been frequently viewed. We can tell people are purchasing them from the high ratings, the high reviews, and the high sales velocity that's going through those. This is also sponsored, by the way. You can't influence your ads to be in this position, because normally when we're running ads, we're influencing them to be top of search and in the other typical sponsored slots. But if your product fits the title of this section, whether it's customers frequently viewed or highly rated items, then Amazon can pull you into that extra section. You'll still incur the same sort of cost per clicks and advertising cost using your same budget from your normal sponsored product campaigns, but you can't specifically say, I want my ads to appear in a customers frequently viewed section. Scrolling down, we then get to more results. So these are still sponsored here. Now from your placement bids, this will be known as the rest of search. So top of search was the first row of sponsored ads, underneath the sponsor brand. Any other sponsored ad is known as rest of search. So if you're going to be manipulating your placement bid modifiers for sponsored search, this is where that boost is going to go. Then we'll continue to scroll down past some more organic results. And then we've got a video here. I know that we showed a video previously with the dog chews. Now this is where I will tell you the difference. So this one here is a regular sponsored brand video campaign. We've got the video, we've got the product, and that has inherited our product image, the title, the brand name, the reviews, the ratings, the price, the stroke through, delivery dates, etc. Same as what we'd expect from a normal listing. If we click on this, we are going to go through to that products page. Now this video hasn't auto-played. They don't always auto-play. But when I do click play, it still is muted. So we would need to unmute that if we want to hear any of the audio or any of the talking through. But this is what I was mentioning previously with the dog chews. Any important speech that is happening, any important audio that is happening on this video is being supplemented with subtitles and punchy buzzwords, something that can help you understand the images that are happening in the video without having to unmute that video. So we can't always assume people are going to be intuitive to enough to enable that audio. Now, if we go back to the dog chews videos, this is a sponsor brand video that is going to the storefront. This is more about advertising your brand. We've got 3 products on show here, a very quick glimpse of the product. This is going through to their storefront. So in order to get a video in that sponsor brand slot at the top of the page, at the top of search, above all the other search results, it needs to go through to the sponsor brand page. If you really want to showcase a product and boost sales for an individual product, it needs to be a sponsor brand video showcasing an individual product, which will go through to that product display page. Now, as we scroll further, we're just going to get more results. We're going to get more sponsored results. Sometimes the sponsored results will be hidden in amongst some of these organic results. And then as we get to the bottom, we've got another one of these. So this is trending styles instead of highly rated or customers frequently viewed. So this is based on recent purchases and views. So Amazon know it's trending because of the click-through rate of this product and the conversion rate of these products. There is no consideration for price or reviews, though usually if there's a good click-through rate and a good conversion rate, there's a high chance that the review and the star rating is going to be strong, and the number of sales coming through in the past month is going to be strong as well. But we can see that there is no price consideration, as we've got anything as low as $10 through to $100 there. So it really is pulling in a wide range of price points there. And then we hit the bottom. Sometimes we might see a sponsor brand here, but we also have 3 sponsor brands here as well. So these are like bottom of search sponsor brand slots. You can't influence how these look necessarily, and you can't turn them off. A lot of advertisers don't like the way these look because we've just got a very simple image, the brand name, the headline, and a link to the store. So there's not any information around reviews, pricing, etc. But this is literally pulling that one of the images from our sponsor brand with the title, with the headline, and this one here in the middle is the same sponsor brand that we're seeing at the top. This is the product, this was the brand and the headline, but it's just taken away all of those other helpful elements. If we go through to the dog chews, I'm just going to check to see if there is a sponsor brand at the bottom. There aren't, no. So we've got those same 3. I did run another search, and this was another example I wanted to share with you regarding the search box. So I typed in coffee as a misspelling. I missed out the last E. Now what we'll notice down here is we've got the top 48 search results of over 20,000 results, but it's showing me the results for coffee spelled correctly. So there are common misspelled words on Amazon that they will intuitively autocorrect for you. So we are not being punished for our typo or potentially our spelling proficiency. Amazon is intuitive enough to show us the results for coffee spelled correctly. So that means that advertisers aren't missing a potential audience because of misspellings and typos. If we scroll to the bottom of these search results, I do believe we will see, yes. So here is another placement where we can have the video ads. So instead of those three basic sponsor brand, those static sponsor brands that we saw on the other search result pages, we now have a fully fledged video campaign running at the bottom. So top of search, we can have sponsor brands and sponsor brand videos that go through to the storefront. About a third of the page down, halfway down, we'll get a sponsor brand video that will go through to the product display page. And at the bottom of the page, kind of all bets are off really. It could be a static sponsor brand and it could be a sponsor brand video. So that brings us to the end of our episode on the anatomy of a search results page. Hopefully that made things clear as to where your adverts appear, the different placements and the different orderings of the placements, and how those search results work. In a future video, we will be going over each campaign type, the best practices, how to set them up, and we'll also be going over how the bidding algorithm works. So I showed you how to run a search, but we haven't gone into detail as to how these are ordered based on the search and the bids and the auctions that happen. So stay tuned to our future videos. As usual, please leave this video a like and subscribe to our channel so you never miss any future updates and videos. But also feel free to leave a comment so we can interact with you in that comment section there. Thank you very much and see you on the next video.